In Seoul, US President Donald Trump and South Korean President Lee Jae-myung announced a partnership that will reshape the Indo-Pacific. The world watched as these two leaders stood side by side, signaling a new era of cooperation and trust between their nations. This historic moment was not just about military hardware, but about forging a deeper alliance in a rapidly changing world. For the first time, the US agreed to share nuclear submarine propulsion technology with South Korea, joining only the UK and Australia in this exclusive club. This transfer of sensitive technology marks a significant leap in trust and places South Korea among the world's most advanced naval powers. This deal is more than a military transaction. It's a strategic and economic alliance. It represents a shared vision for stability and prosperity in the region, and a commitment to mutual defense in the face of growing uncertainty. South Korea will build its own fleet of nuclear-powered attack submarines, dramatically boosting its ability to patrol East Asian waters. These vessels will enhance deterrence, protect vital sea lanes, and give South Korea a new level of independence in its maritime security. These submarines, powered by nuclear reactors but armed with conventional weapons, offer near-limitless range and endurance. They can remain submerged for months, making them difficult to detect and highly effective for both defense and deterrence. The agreement is a response to rising threats from North Korea and China, and ties military cooperation to massive South Korean investment in American industry. It's a two-way street, strengthening both nations' economies and security. South Korea gains advanced submarine technology. The US secures a powerful ally and a major economic boost. This partnership will create thousands of jobs, drive innovation, and deepen industrial ties. This move empowers South Korea to take greater responsibility for its own defense, while allowing the US to focus its naval resources elsewhere. It's a step toward a more balanced alliance, where both partners share the burden of regional security. The deal is about building a resilient security network in a region home to major economic and military powers. It's a signal to the world that the US and South Korea are united in their commitment to peace, stability, and shared prosperity. Its impact will be felt for decades, shaping the balance of power in Asia and setting a new standard for international cooperation in the 21st century. Subscribe, like, and share Cosmo Academia. The timing is no accident. North Korea's unveiling of a nuclear-powered submarine and new missile tests in October 2025 forced Seoul's hand. Intelligence suggested Russian technical help for Pyongyang, escalating the threat from regional to global. South Korea's diesel-electric submarines can't match a nuclear-powered adversary's stealth and endurance. Meanwhile, China's rapid naval expansion and new outposts in the Yellow Sea threaten South Korea's maritime sovereignty. The government in Seoul realized it was being outpaced and argued that relying solely on the US security umbrella was no longer enough. The combination of North Korea's ambitions, China's assertiveness, and South Korea's naval limitations created a perfect storm. The submarine deal became a strategic necessity to restore balance in a dangerously shifting region. The difference between conventional and nuclear-powered submarines is game-changing. Diesel-electric subs must surface often to recharge, making them vulnerable and limited in range. Nuclear-powered submarines use a compact reactor to generate heat, producing steam that drives turbines for propulsion and electricity. This closed-loop system allows them to stay submerged for months, limited only by food and crew endurance. They can travel faster, farther, and remain hidden, making them the ultimate stealth platform. The technology shared with South Korea is for propulsion, not nuclear weapons. The reactors use highly enriched uranium, which is why strict safeguards are in place. South Korea's new subs will carry conventional weapons, but the propulsion tech is closely monitored. The deal includes robust oversight to ensure nuclear material is used only for its intended purpose. This leap in capability is why the agreement is so significant. South Korea gains a transformative military edge, deterring North Korea and sending a powerful signal to the region. It's not just about the North. This new capability helps counter China's growing naval presence. South Korea's Navy can now project power far beyond its shores, safeguard vital shipping lanes, and conduct long-range surveillance missions, elevating it to a top-tier naval power in Asia. This shift boosts South Korea's global standing and influence. The US also stands to gain. Having a stronger, more capable ally means less strain on American forces, and a more resilient Indo-Pacific alliance. With South Korean patrols covering more ground, US ships are freed up for other global hotspots, embodying a modern approach to burden sharing and collective security. The economic windfall is massive. South Korea pledges $150 billion for U.S. shipbuilding and $350 billion for broader investments in American industries, plus major oil and gas purchases. This influx of capital creates thousands of American jobs, revitalizes key industries, and breathes new life into communities that depend on manufacturing. The deal is a model for how military alliances can drive mutual economic prosperity and innovation. Both nations emerge stronger, South Korea with new security guarantees and international prestige, the U.S. with strategic advantages and significant economic gains. The partnership sends a clear message: U.S. alliances deliver both security and prosperity, shaping the future of the region. In this high-stakes geopolitical chess game, both sides advance, demonstrating the power of cooperation in a changing world. Subscribe, like, and share Cosmo Academia. The deal isn't without risks. It could trigger a regional arms race, with China likely to accelerate its naval buildup and anti-submarine capabilities. North Korea may respond with more reckless provocations, escalating tensions on the peninsula. The U.S. shipbuilding industry, already stretched thin, could face further delays as resources are diverted to the new project. There's also the risk of nuclear proliferation. Sharing propulsion tech sets a precedent others may seek to follow. Strict oversight is required to prevent diversion of nuclear material for weapons. Any accident at sea could have catastrophic consequences. The deal blurs lines between peaceful and military nuclear uses, complicating non-proliferation efforts. These risks demand constant, careful management. One of the most significant aspects of this deal is the profound impact it will have on American shipbuilding and the broader U.S. industrial landscape. South Korea's first nuclear submarine will be constructed at Philly Shipyard, which was recently acquired by Korea's Hanwha Group, marking a new era of international collaboration. This partnership is expected to bring a surge of jobs and fresh investment to the United States, further embedding industrial cooperation at the heart of the U.S.-Korea alliance. The shipyard itself will undergo a massive transformation, with South Korea committing $150 billion to upgrade facilities, modernize equipment, and expand production capacity. This investment will create thousands of high-skilled jobs, breathing new life into a critical sector of America's industrial base and offering new opportunities for local communities. The expertise, infrastructure, and supply chains developed through this project can also be leveraged to support U.S. Navy submarine programs, helping to ease current production bottlenecks and strengthen national security. Hanwha's entry into the U.S. market could foster greater competition and spark innovation in a sector that has long been dominated by just a handful of major contractors. However, building up a new nuclear-capable workforce is a massive challenge, requiring close collaboration with the U.S. Navy, local educational institutions, and technical training programs to ensure the right skills are developed. If successful, this project could serve as a powerful model for revitalizing U.S. industry through strategic foreign investment and international partnerships. But if it fails, it could also highlight the risks of overextending an already strained system, underscoring the need for careful planning and sustained commitment. The submarine deal is deeply tied to a sweeping economic strategy. South Korea's total investment in the U.S. will exceed $600 billion, spanning shipbuilding, manufacturing, energy, and technology. Both nations agreed to lower tariffs to 15%, easing trade tensions and benefiting key industries like autos. American consumers may see lower prices on Korean goods, while Korean firms gain secure access to the U.S. market. The investment will create tens of thousands of jobs across the U.S., revitalizing industrial towns and strengthening supply chains. For South Korea, it's a foothold in the world's largest economy. This economic interdependence cements the alliance, making it more resilient to political shifts. The deal transforms the partnership from one based on shared threats to one built on shared prosperity. It's a modern alliance for the 21st century. Subscribe, like, and share Cosmo Academia. The deal raises tough questions about nuclear non-proliferation. Sharing highly enriched uranium propulsion tech with South Korea sets a precedent that other advanced nations may seek to follow. The IAEA lacks effective mechanisms to monitor nuclear material in military submarine fleets, creating a safeguards loophole. Critics warn this could weaken global non-proliferation norms and encourage other countries to pursue similar deals. The US and South Korea must implement unprecedented oversight, likely involving sealed reactors and strict U.S. control over refueling. South Korea's push to ease restrictions on civilian nuclear fuel reprocessing adds complexity. If safeguards fail, The program could give South Korea a head start on nuclear weapons. Managing this proliferation risk will be a critical test for the agreement. The deal resets the Indo-Pacific chessboard. China will likely condemn the move and accelerate its own naval modernization, especially in anti-submarine warfare. North Korea may respond with new provocations, including missile or nuclear tests, and push harder to develop its own nuclear subs. Diplomacy with Pyongyang will become even more difficult. Japan, watching closely, may debate its own military future and deepen trilateral cooperation with the US and South Korea. The deal's success depends on flawless execution, revitalizing Philly shipyard, training a nuclear workforce, and airtight non-proliferation safeguards. If it works, the alliance will be stronger and Asia more stable. If it fails, it could fuel an arms race and undermine non-proliferation. The world is watching to see how the other players respond. Subscribe, like, and share Cosmo Academia.